Good morning, greetings, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get yourself on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you have questions about anything we're speaking about here today, longevity products, ingredients, formulations, the health challenge you want help with, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase longevity products, call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470, or head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can purchase longevity products off the website. You can also sign up to join the Bright Side Ben team. For a one-time $25 fee, you can be in business for yourself. If you're an entrepreneur, it's an ideal business opportunity where you can help change lives at the most basic and fundamental level there is, which is the level of good health. It's the ultimate iconic example of a win-win business where your client wins, you win, everybody wins, the world wins. The world and society in general benefit from individuals who get on a good nutritional supplement program. We live in a world where we're spending, in the United States anyway, trillions of dollars on health care. What do we get for it? We're sicker than ever before. And getting your drugs cheaper, Congress and Donald Trump, isn't going to make a difference. Making drugs cheaper is not going to help us with our health. Drugs are a scam, a huge scam. If they just told you drugs would maintain your current level of disease and only hide your symptoms, that would be one thing. But with prescription medication and pharmacology and drug companies, you get this constant drumbeat of messaging that somehow drugs make us better. They don't. There's no drug on planet Earth that has ever made somebody better, with the exception, I guess you could say, of antibiotics and perhaps occasionally chemotherapy. But for the most part, the vast majority of medication that we take doesn't make us better. I'm telling you this as a pharmacist. I saw this when I graduated pharmacy school. That's why I stopped doing it. I couldn't believe it, how people are on the same medications for life and they don't get better. And even worse, they've got to take higher doses and they've got to take extra medication to control the side effects of the first medication that didn't work in the first place. Anyway, 844-236-6010 is the phone number to call if you want to sign up to join the Bright Side Ben team, or if you want to purchase longevity products. And don't forget to head over to truthtreatments.com for our new Truth Treatment products. We've got a bunch coming out in the next few weeks, maybe in the next few months as well. We just put up our retinol roller spot treatment. Retinol, it makes an ideal spot treatment for blemishes. If you're breaking out, if you catch the blemish right when it turns a little bit red and you know you're going to get that zit, if you catch it right there with your retinol roller, you won't even get the pimple. If you do have a pimple, using retinol spot treatment, which is available at truthtreatments.com, also made with salicylic acid and vitamin C, using the retinol roller spot treatment can help speed up the healing of blemishes as well. And, of course, because retinol is a wonderful depigmentizing agent, it will help prevent what is called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, the kind of pigmentation that occurs as your pimple is healing. Retinol roller spot treatment is available at truthtreatments.com. So is our new hyaluronic mineral hydrator made with minerals and hyaluronic acid, and our Truth Trifecta. It's all up at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here, folks. We've been talking about the nature of electricity and its relationship to bioelectricity. Electricity being the movement of electrical energy. What we call electricity is really a fundamental force. Scientists say there's 4 forces in the universe, which is basically types of energy that nobody understands, because that's how a force can be described. It's a fundamental thing that doesn't really have a description. It's just a thing. It's the energy between 2 points. They just call it a force. There's 4 forces. You've got 2 of them that operate at the quantum level. They call it the weak force and the strong force. I'm not going to get into that. The 2 main forces that we deal with are the force of gravity and the force of electricity, also known as the force of electromagnetism. Those are the 2 ways things happen in the universe, at the macroscopic level anyway, and that is electricity or electromagnetism and gravity. Gravity works at long distances, but interestingly, gravity gets weaker as distances increase, but electricity gets stronger as distances increase. Another difference between electricity and gravity is electricity is way, way stronger, 1,000 trillion times stronger than gravity. Gravity is basically nothing compared to the electromagnetic force, and now we know that the entire universe is electromagnetism, at least 99.999% of it, called plasma. If you want to read an interesting book about the nature of plasma and what is called the electrical universe, get the book The Electric Universe by Wallace Thornhill. It's kind of pricey, but it's kind of a pretty book, and it's got a really good explanation of the electrical nature of the universe. Now, I don't want to get too airy-fairy. I find this incredibly fascinating, but what's it got to do with health? Well, if everything's electrical, that means the body is electrical too. The human body is an electrical system. Like everything is an electrical system. The entire universe is an electrical system, and everything in the universe is an electrical system, and the human body is an electrical system, and everything in the human body is an electrical system, from the organs and the tissues to the cells themselves. They're all electrical. It's all about electricity. We live and move and breathe and have our being in an electrical field. In this way, electricity could be thought of like God. All the chemical reactions within the body are, at the end of the day, at the most basic level, they are electrical reactions. But electricity is useless on its own. Electricity is like fire. Fire and electricity have a lot in common. In fact, fire is a type of electrical phenomena, even though we don't think of it as such. And like electricity, fire is useless unless it's somehow channeled into pipes and heating water and doing all the things that fire does to move machines. That's what the steam engine was the transference of the energy from fire into steam and then into moving gears and wheels, and it was a tremendous advance. Today we have the internal combustion engine in our cars that turns fire into movement by capturing the energy. That's a really interesting thing that happens. Energy gets captured. We capture the energy of fire. We harness. That's how chemists say. The chemists call it. They say energy is harnessed, captured, trapped in an internal combustion engine. It's trapped in various pistons and gears. I don't even really know how the whole thing works, but at the end of the day, the wheels turn. The fire is captured, and the energy is harnessed, and it turns the wheels. The body does the same thing. It doesn't want just straight energy. It doesn't want straight electricity. It has to have a way of capturing that electricity. Pure energy is dangerous. Pure fire is dangerous. Pure fire is going to burn your house down unless it's channeled correctly. Electricity, if it's not channeled through a wire, it's not going to do you any good. Biology is a living system that has figured out how to capture energy for its own use. It started with plants. Plants were the initial energy capturing life form on the planet. Algae, actually, probably, and then plants. They figured out a way, these entities figured out a way to trap the energy that was bombarding the planet from the sun and turn it into stuff. Turn photons into electricity. Well, then the animals came along and they turned the electricity into movement. So fire and electricity are totally useless unless they are captured, unless they are harnessed, whether it's in a combustion engine in a car, or in a television set or a computer, through various tubes, chips, transistors, etc. And likewise, in the human body, and understanding this is very important if we're going to be healthy. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back after this. Don't go away. Okay, we're back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lots of lines open for you. We'll get your calls in our next segment. If you have questions about the longevity products or true skin health products, a comment or success story you'd like to share, 844-236-6010 is our number on the bright side. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 at brightsideben.com on the archive page. You can also purchase longevity products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And you can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team. If you're an entrepreneur, this is a great New Year's resolution for you. You can start a business. By next year at this time, you could be making $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month or more, and you could be help changing the world via the world of nutritional supplementation. There's still present company excluded. Sometimes we forget, because most of the people that are listening to this program and most of our friends understand the importance of nutritional supplementation, but still to this day, the vast majority of people, I would say 80% or more people out there, don't understand how important nutritional supplementation is, how valuable it can be, and how literally, not figuratively, not poetically, not rhetorically, how life-changing it can be, especially if you're on prescription medication. One of the greatest things about the human body, one of the greatest gifts of the human body is the more nutritionally deficient we are, the faster we absorb nutrients, which is why most people will experience dramatic and, yes, life-changing effects from something as simple as sipping on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine all day long. And you can be the one providing folks with that unbelievably valuable health strategy. Life-changing strategy, life-extending strategy, quality of life improving strategy. Call 866-735-2470 for more info, or click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. Okay, so we're talking about the nature of energy in the body, electricity in the body. Fire and electricity are similar, and we all understand that if we have fire that's not controlled, we can do tremendous amount of damage. Ask the folks in Paradise, California. Every year there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands, maybe millions of acres that are destroyed by fires, by uncontrolled energy. Yet that same fire, if it's channeled correctly, can run machines, can make our cars work. It's all about how it's channeled, how the energy's harnessed, how the energy is directed and shunted. And in the body, it's the same way. Yes, you have in a car, you've got gears and pistons and pipes. In a television set, you've got chips and wires, and likewise in a computer, and in a little engine or machine, or I guess it's an engine that runs a fan. You got the same thing. You've got wires and transistors and transformers, and all. It's all about harnessing energy. The body does the same thing. In this way, the body's a machine. It's an electrical machine. It works by harnessing energy. And guess what it is that harnesses energy? Guess what it is that controls and shunts and directs energy? Nutrition. That's what nutrition is. It's a way of directing, of holding and directing and channeling electrical energy. Literally the same kind of electrical energy that runs our home equipment, our lights and our TVs and our computers and our fans. It's exactly the same, except it's more responsive. It's electrical energy that grows under stress. It's electrical energy that drops levels down when they're too high and raises levels up when they're too low. It's responsive electrical energy. It's intelligent electrical energy. Nonetheless, it's still electrical energy, and nutrition acts as temporary storage points, switches. That's actually what they are. Nutrients are actually switches, electrical switches. What we call nutrients, vitamins, minerals, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates are nothing more than temporary holding places for electrical energy. They're temporary holding places for electrons, pieces of electrical energy, as these electrons wind their never-ending pathway through the biological and the biochemical environment inside the body. Now, the fact of the matter is that it's a little more complicated than that, because each vitamin and mineral and protein and fat is vibrating at a specific pace or specific rate. This electrical energy vibrates. That's the fundamental quality of electrical energy, is it vibrates. And when you trap electrical energy, the trapping molecule vibrates too. And all these minerals and vitamins and proteins and fats and carbs have different frequencies. They vibrate differently. That's what a frequency is. It's just how fast it vibrates. So a molecule can be thought of as a temporary holding spot for electrons that is vibrating. And the sum total of the vibrations give it a certain shape. It has a shape. Yes, molecules have specific electrical shapes and specific electrical vibrations. And these shapes and vibrations can be thought of as configurations of electricity. When we look at a chemical structure, if you've ever looked at those stick structures, I'm sure most of you have seen those little stick structures of CHO and CC and all these different things that look like they're shapes, solid shapes. They're not solid shapes. They're vibrating and constantly in flux. They are not solid at all. And it's misleading and disempowering to think of them as solid, because their very flexibility is what gives us power over our health. We can change the shape of our bodies at the electrical level. The body is the end result of electromagnetic shapes, and we can change those shapes. We're not fixed in shapes. If you're told you're a diabetic, that means some boneheaded medical professional thinks that your shape is permanent. It's not permanent. It's never permanent. That's the beauty of all the things we talk about here on the bright side, and all things Dr. Wallach talks about and intelligent healthcare professionals talk about, is the idea that you can change the shape of your body from an unhealthy shape or frequency, if you will, shape equals frequency, to a healthy shape or frequency. So the body is being held in place by these electrical charges, basically, that hold it into specific configurations which are constantly changing, shape shifting. This shape shifting, it occurs with an intelligence that is not our own. It's a divine intelligence, and that's why I talk about the divine intelligence every day, because there's a divine intelligence that is guiding this shape shifting. What we can do, we can contribute, we can help by putting the correct raw materials in the body for the electricity to ride on. Electricity rides on chemistry. Electricity is carried in chemistry. Chemistry is a form of electricity, and we could provide the body with specific carriers. Guess what those are? The mighty 90 essential nutrients. The mighty 90 essential nutrients are like railroad cars for all that energy, except they're each mighty 90 essential nutrient is a specific type of railroad car. They're not generic railroad cars. They're all vary according to specific functions in the body. So, for example, you have the electrolytes. The electrolytes are the smallest of the electrical carriers. The electrolytes: potassium, calcium, sodium, magnesium, phosphate, chloride. There's probably 8 or 9 different electrolytes, and electrolytes always work in liquid. Electrolytes need liquid to do their carrying work. Liquid, by the way, water, is incredibly valuable for controlling electrical energy, and that's why you want to be drinking lots of water. The reason we want to be drinking water is we want to provide the body with the milieu, the environment, for the electricity to work. Water is the environment that electricity works inside the body, that is. And it doesn't just work inside the body, it channels it and directs it. Water is the master director of electrical energy. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Pharmacist Ben. Got lines open, 844-236-6010, and we will get your calls momentarily. 844-236-6010 if you have questions about anything we're speaking about here today, or a comment or success story, or if you have a health challenge that you need help with. 844-236-6010 is our number. From the American Diabetes Association Scientific Sessions: fasting lowers cholesterol in pre-diabetics. Oh my goodness, surprise, surprise. During actual fasting days, cholesterol Actually, this is kind of interesting. During actual fasting days, cholesterol went up slightly, but we did notice that over a 6-week period, cholesterol levels decreased by about 12%. That means in the short term, your cholesterol bumps up a little bit because your body's probably making stress hormones. Your body's making cortisol to deal with the fasting. Your body's mobilizing. And then over the long haul, as your body realizes that you don't need so much metabolism, cholesterol drops. And that's the key to understanding cholesterol. It is a pro-metabolic molecule. It is a building molecule. It is a stress management, life handling molecule. The more your body feels like it needs to handle, the more stress it's under, the more cholesterol you'll make. That's why our cholesterol goes up. Cholesterol goes up when the body is in duress, especially sugar duress. Cholesterol is a life management substance, and only the medical model could possibly think that you could be healthier by shutting it down. What you want to do is you want to figure out why your body's in duress, not shut down the stress molecule. And when I say stress, I mean it's not so much specifically for stress, it's for all the building and growth that occurs under conditions of stress. Estrogen and testosterone and vitamin D, these are all building substances that come from cholesterol. All you got to do is understand, this is why you want a biochemist to talk to you about the body if you're not healthy, not a doctor. Doctors are clinical chemists. All they know about is statistics and numbers and how statistics and numbers work with the body. A biochemist understands the pathways, and to a biochemist, you hear, if you tell say the word cholesterol to a biochemist, they'll say building substance, anabolic substance, pro-metabolism substance, builds muscle, builds cell membranes, important for neural conduction. That's what a biochemist will say. You know what doctor will say? Is it HDL or is it LDL? What is your HDL and what is your LDL? And your HDL is too high and your HDL is too low and your LDL is too high, blah, 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 blah. Because that's clinical chemistry. And the proof of the pudding is in the eating. All you got to do is see the failure, the utter and complete failure of these ideas, clinical chemistry ideas in terms of health, to know that it doesn't work, because human beings are not statistics. They're not numbers. They're biochemical phenomena. And to understand the body, you want to understand biochemistry, not statistics. All right, so if you want to lower your cholesterol, by the way, work on your blood sugar. That's the fastest way to do it. And in fact, we know niacin, which is an amazingly valuable blood sugar processing and energy processing substance, niacin is, and niacin deficiency is very common, also lowers cholesterol, and not pretty darn quickly, within a few weeks if you do it correctly. And then also the B vitamins in general are important for lowering cholesterol. Omega fatty acids are important for naturally lowering your cholesterol levels. Magnesium, zinc are both important for naturally lowering your cholesterol levels in a kind and gentle way if you so desire. Not that the cholesterol is necessarily a bad thing. All right. From the Journal of Clinical Medicine, drugs' side effects in lungs more widespread than thought. A systematic review of research has revealed that the toxic effects on the lung of drugs commonly taken to treat a wide range of common conditions, including arthritis drugs, cancer drugs, heart drugs, is much more widespread than thought. The lungs bear much of the burden of detoxification. There's a lot of detoxification that's going on in the lungs. The body will direct toxins to the lungs for detoxification and elimination. Not like the liver, but still, if the body's overloaded, lung toxicity is very likely. And that's not just true with these particular drugs that they've done the studies on, but these are things that don't show up in the side effect profile of your prescription drugs. The fact that your body's detox system is overloaded. You are burdening the detox system. That doesn't show up in the side effect profile. Burdening the detox system will show up as other diseases, as toxins accumulate, including lung disease. And this is just one of the ways that we have to think about prescription drugs. And it's one of the ways that our medical professionals who are prescribing prescription drugs have to think about it. And it's the reason why you want to be on a nutritional supplement program if you're taking prescription drugs. Everybody needs a nutritional supplement program. Supplements supplement the diet. They don't replace the diet. They supplement the diet. Everybody needs to be supplementing their diet because of the way our foods are. So we all need to be supplementing our diet, but especially if you're on prescription drugs, or if you're frail in any way, or if you're burdening your body in any way. But if you're on prescription drugs, and the reason I say this is because not a week goes by when I'm not answering the question, will it interfere with my prescription drugs? Well, it might interfere with your prescription drugs because it'll help your body handle it better, which is what you're looking for. Vitamin E will help your body handle your blood thinning drugs more effectively. Yes, I understand that vitamin E will thin the blood, so you get to lower your dose of your drug. Vitamin E will help you lower your dose of your blood thinner drug. Omega-3 fatty acids will help lower your dose of your blood thinner drug. Doctors will say don't take vitamin E because it'll interfere with your blood pressure, your blood thinning drug. And by the way, whenever you are adding nutritional supplements to your daily program or to your prescription drug protocol, it's only fair to tell your doctor. It's only fair to let your doctor know that you are now incorporating vitamin E into your protocol, into your nutritional supplement protocol, or omega-3 fatty acids, or whatever you're doing. That's not to say you don't need to listen to your doctor. You don't need to listen to your doctor, okay? But you have to loop him in. He has to be involved. If you're going to a doctor, it is only fair to involve him and let him know everything you're doing. Doesn't mean you have to take his advice always. It doesn't mean you have to listen to him. But it means that it's only fair that you share what you're doing with your physician, no matter what that is. My humble opinion. I wouldn't want anybody, if I was working with somebody, I wouldn't want anybody coming along and telling them not to do this or do that while I'm trying to work with them. It's not fair to the healthcare professional. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll go to Dorian here. Say good morning. Might have to put you back on hold, but what's going on, Dorian?
Hello?
Dorian? Do I have Dorian?
Yes.
Hey, what's going on? I'm going to tell me what's on your mind, and then we'll take a commercial break and come back to you. What interesting subject do you have to share today? Do I have Dorian?
I'm there. Hello?
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to put you back on, and we're going to take a commercial break, my friend, and then we'll get to you when we come back, okay? All right. All right, good. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We got lots of lines open for you if you've got questions about anything we're speaking about here today. If you're on prescription drugs and you want help weaning yourself off of them, 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll return on The Bright Side right after this. On the bright side, 844-236-6010 is our number. And let's welcome Dorian to the bright side. What's up, Dorian? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yeah, what's going on?
My dad, he has some issues going on, including a clot in his leg, and he said he has some balancing problems sometimes when he's standing.
They go hand in hand.
He's gonna fall.
He has bigger problems than that. If he has problems standing and he's dealing with clots, that's a blood issue. How old is your dad, first of all?
He's mid-60s.
Okay, well, guess what? He's breaking down there. Those are some serious signs. Those are dramatic signs of breakdown. A clotting in the blood means the blood's not circulating appropriately, maybe affecting his brain, it may be involving his adrenal glands. Does it get worse when he stands up? Sits down, stands up from his...
Sometimes he says if he's on a line, let's say at the bank, he might almost fall on the person behind him.
Okay, gotcha. Does it get worse when he moves from a seated position to a standing position?
That I'm not sure.
Okay, because that would imply that he's not adjusting properly, but it could. The circulatory issue is really the root of everything. So by the time you got clots going on, and this is a really very basic and fundamental mechanism of disease and of aging. The blood becomes sticky and sludgy over the course of the years and the decades and a lifetime. By the time the sludginess of the blood, and I'm being a little bit poetic here, it's literally clotting of the blood. But you basically could say sludging. You can see it under specific types of detection mechanisms. If you ever heard of this thing called dark dark field microscopy. You ever heard of dark field microscopy?
Yes.
Okay, so through dark field microscopy, where they actually look at the blood and blood cells, they can see that when you're unhealthy, your blood cells aren't moving properly. This does a couple things. Number one, well, it's a few things actually. Number one, it will keep cells from getting nutriated. Number two, it will keep cells from being oxygenated. Number three, it will keep cells from being detoxified. Where have you heard this before? That's called the triangle of disease, or that's the triangle. It's not the triangle of disease, but it's the 3 points of disease that cause a cell to break down: suffocation, toxification, and malnourishment or lack of nutrition.
Yes.
Those are the 3 reasons why cells break down, why cells don't do their business, and it all starts with dirty blood. So all disease is cellular starvation, suffocation, and toxification, and it all starts with dirty blood, sludgy blood. So now, by the time you have clots going on, your blood is really sludgy. So that means there's a lot of toxicity that's going on in there. So you got to do a couple things. First of all, you got to stop the stream of poison that's been getting into your dad's bloodstream for probably his whole life, and that means working on the digestive system. I'd be fasting right away. Secondly, you want him moving his body. Is he sedentary, or does he exercise, or is he on a rebound or anything like that?
He moves a lot. He exercises.
Good. Have him get on a bike and keep doing it. I mean, you want to move that blood around. Now, you got to be a little careful if he really literally has a clot, because he's on blood thinning medication.
Yes, he's on.
Yeah, so his body is very weak, and the blood thinning medication will weaken the body further. This is the great irony of medicine, and you can pass this on to your dad, and you should mention it to your doctor. You have a weak, frail body that's already broken down, and now you put more burden on it in the form of Eliquis or warfarin or whatever kind of blood thinner they're giving him. So, you can do what you can do. He does need to move his body more. Like I said earlier, let the physician know that he's moving his body now, because that's something that he wants to know, but he needs to do that. Also, slow, deep, rhythmic breathing is a great way to move the blood. To improve circulation, and he should be doing SDR breathing. When the blood doesn't circulate, by the way, not only do cells not get fed and oxygenated and nutrient and detoxified, but the body itself starts to run down in energy. The body is generating energy hemodynamically, meaning the movement of blood generates energy. Movement of fluids. This is so cool how this works. The electrolytes, which we're going to be talking about here for a while, and also proteins, colloidal substances in the blood, generate electrical charges as the blood is circulating. That's why it's important to have these substances in the blood, and that's why it's important to have the blood circulating. This is all his batteries running down, basically, and this is why disease follows clotting. Disease follows stagnation in the blood. Your battery runs down, basically. So getting on a rebounder will help. Drinking more water will definitely help. Using nutrients that are electrical, as well as the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. But aside from the Mighty 90, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, by the way, is a great source of electrolytes. He should be doing lots of bone soup and vegetable juices, which are also a great source of electrolytes. I'd be doing fermented veggies too. The Fucoid Z has got some direct blood thinning properties, because the sugars in the Fucoid Z actually can help spread electrical energy more effectively in the circulatory system, distribute electrical energy more effectively. So the Fucoid Z acts like a blood thinner. So that might be something that he wants to think about as well. And then in addition to the just straight out Mighty 90 essential nutrients, I would be throwing in some extra omega fatty acids, some extra vitamin E, and probably not a bad idea to make sure to have him do a little bit of Celtic sea salt in water once a day, especially if he's a salt craver. He probably is a salt craver, so a little bit of Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt in water every day. What else you got for us there, Dorian? Does that help?
Yes, it does. Should he consider niacin plus
yeah.
as well?
Niacin is a vasodilator. That is, it opens up the blood vessels pretty powerfully. It's important that he gets niacin because it does a lot of things, but I don't know if I would take high doses of niacin because the vasodilation effects may affect his blood pressure and with the circulatory issues that he has and the blood thinners that he's on. I don't know if I would recommend high doses of niacin. He definitely needs some niacin, though. So not the ultimate niacin, but just like the Beyond Tangy and the Healthy Start Pack kind of thing. Okay. Niacin is really interesting stuff. Does that help you, Dorian?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, good deal. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Niacin is super. Take care. I'm glad you called. Thanks, buddy. All right. Niacin is really interesting stuff. Niacin deficiency disease. If you go to medical school, they'll tell you the 4 Ds are the way you describe niacin deficiency disease. The 4 Ds are diarrhea, dermatitis, dementia, and death. And that's what niacin deficiency will ultimately do. It will cause problems with your digestive tract. It will cause problems with your skin. It will cause problems with your brain. And ultimately, it will kill you. Now, most people get enough niacin not to suffer from the last D, that is death. But most people don't get enough niacin to avoid suffering from GI problems or dermatitis and unexplained rashes or cognitive health issues. Yes, cognitive health issues, forgetfulness, attention deficit disorder, dementia. These are all associated with niacin deficiency. In fact, schizophrenia and psychosis is associated with niacin deficiency disease. Dr. Abraham Hoffer wrote a book called Orthomolecular Psychiatry back in the 1950s, and he talked about using niacin to treat schizophrenics. They're using niacin now to treat folks who have social anxiety disorder, or bipolar disorder, or obsessive-compulsive disorders because of its powerful effects on the brain. And it is actually thought that smoking cigarettes may be one way that people self-medicate with niacin. Not that it's niacin in a cigarette, but it's somewhat similar. Nicotinic acid is niacin, and nicotine in cigarettes are not the same by any stretch, but it's thought that that's an attempt at self-medication. So niacin is fabulously important, and from a practical standpoint, on a day-to-day practical standpoint, if you're not dealing with dementia or GI problems or skin problems, you might want to use niacin if you're eating a lot of sugar, and you want to lower your blood fats, and you want to lower your cholesterol. Niacin is part of what is known as the glucose tolerance factor, the GTF. The glucose tolerance factor, or GTF, is a complex of nutrients that helps the body process sugar that includes chromium and niacin. And by the way, chromium and niacin, that is Sweeties and Ultimate Niacin, go hand in hand. And in the body, they form something called chromium nicotinate. Niacin and chromium work together in this molecule that's called the glucose tolerance factor. So much incredible power to understanding how the body works and how nutrition works and how the two work together. Nobody needs to be sick, folks, and nobody needs to be on a prescription drug unless it's for a very, very, very short term, or perhaps, as I say, an antibiotic, and occasionally, I suppose, chemotherapy. But for the most part, for most of our drugs anyway, nobody needs to be taking them once they adjust the biochemistry of the body and give the body what it really needs, which is good nutrition, good breathing, good water, a little bit of exercise, and rest, the fourfold square of nutrition. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Check out our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for the longevity products, and truthtreatments.com for all our new Truth Skin Health products. Free shipping for the next couple of weeks at truthtreatments.com. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.